Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. We're fresh back from the SEMA show. I'm still mildly hungover, but here's our recap of SEMA 2021. Definitely smaller this year than the usual SEMA. It was still a fantastic show. I mean, as usual at SEMA, you've got over-the-top everything. Trucks lifted, trucks on the ground, hot rods, exotic cars, sports cars, everything. Hoonigans out drifting, Optima with their setup for the ultimate street car. Just as usual, everything you could expect. A big, huge area set up for Chip Foose and 22 of his builds from through the years, which was pretty extraordinary to see, gotta admit, to see that many Foose cars all in one room. But I'm gonna jump straight to a few of my favorites that we were there for the reveal of it. Close, if not at the top of my list, would be the DeBerti C10 Slayer, which is just completely over the top. 4 wheels in back, all of them putting power to the ground. Wing, wide-bodied, gigantic stack sticking out of a supercharger, sticking out of the hood, making somewhere around 1,000 horsepower. Just hats off to DeBerti and his dad with what they create, and I can't wait to go to North Carolina and shoot that thing. 2 of my favorite reveals and cars came from the same builder, our friend Steve Strope and his company Pure Vision Design. The Rogan Nova is just exceptional. This is a car that's been in build for about 4 years, over a year and a half in metal work only on this car. And typical with Strope, if you're not looking closely and he doesn't walk you through the car, you'll miss a lot of what's there. But this car is one of the most extraordinary builds I've ever seen. And Bob from ARP had Steve build him a wonderful Plymouth Scamp. Very simple car, at the same time, not even close to simple. Look at the hood alone on this car, and I can simply tell you that there's close to $50,000 just in the construction of the hood of this car. Stellar, stellar, wonderful build. Our friend Dustin at Nostalgia Hot Rods. Dustin had 4 vehicles out there, but the one that really just knocks me out from him and his company is this 66 Chevelle. I mean, they've widened it 3 inches on each side in the back. It's a big block NA car making almost 900 horsepower, revs to 9,000 RPMs. It was great to see our buddy Frankie out there with his Buick T-Type that we just shot recently. Our friends Maniac Garage with their 49 Ford chopped, dropped, widened, and set onto a BMW 335 with a big turbo sticking out of the hood. Awesome. Our buddy Ken from Classics Daily, which we're just so happy and proud of him to have gotten this build together because he built a Nova that is just incredible. Our buddy David was there with his Charger that we shot recently, affectionately known as the Dumbo Charger, with its Elephant power plant. Our friend Ricardo from Customs by Lopez built a truck that's another killer one from Ricardo. He named it Monique after his wife. Just another killer build from Customs by Lopez. Their paint always just seems to look like it's still wet. They do great interiors. I'm really proud of him to have been in front of the MagnaFlow booth and to have had the exposure he did. Another big one for us is from our friend Bob Matranga, his 55 Chevy. This is one of the most exceptional custom builds you will ever see. As usual, out in the Toyo Tread Pass, one after the other that will just blow your mind. And they have a tendency to really reach more for the radical. And certainly one of my favorite cars at SEMA that was in the Toyo Tread Pass is from our friend Chris Ashton. And it is an exceptional car. And this is built by a guy that's not a car builder. He's a video game designer. He went over the top this year with a Superformance Mark I GT40, where he 3D printed fenders, quarters, lights, so many items on this car, created molds, carbon fiber elements. Truly, truly an exceptional car. Speaking of Superformance had just a killer booth setup and the other vehicles they do. Speaking of the other vehicles, one of my favorite in their booth was their Grand Sport Corvette that had under the hood the Mercury 7-liter SB4 motor. Mind-boggling. Right behind that was a Cobra, and I know it'll freak you guys out like it did me. It's an electric Cobra that they had to dial back power on because it was making the equivalent of somewhere around 2,000 horsepower. Now I think it's at around 1,500 horsepower. Definitely gonna wanna shoot that one, and I have refused so far to shoot any electric vehicles. This one I'm curious about. A car I saw that was certainly one of the top builds at SEMA was a 69 Firebird done by the guys at BBT Fab. Just exceptional. You can tell everything on this car is one-off. Everything on this thing. Another one that's done in green that just kind of blew my mind, the color of it. Really, truly an exceptional car. But all in all, even though it was a smaller SEMA than usual, none of the international people were there, or very few, I should say, of the international people. It was typical SEMA in the sense that it was endless with wonderful cars, trucks, builds of all sorts, of all types. Totally knocked out, and look forward to returning to SEMA next year and see if it gets closer to the true SEMA show that we all know and love. But all in all, an exceptional show, incredible, fun time, bit too much tequila, night after night after night. Hence why I'm a little bit hungover, and I'm gonna say goodbye, and thanks for hanging and watching what we do here, you guys. Truly do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Later.